That's solid, and the water's coming out there. Greetings, this is Rich from HouseBarons.com. My brother Dave and I renovate houses along with Dave's son Caleb, and today we want to show you how to repair a garden hose. This is the lake house that we renovated, and we still do property management at this property. And what I wanted to show you was over here, which is this garden hose. And what's so special about this hose is I actually rescued it from the trash. So one of my neighbors was throwing this garden hose away. And like a good house baron, I did a dumpster dive and I removed it from their trash and I threw it in the back of my Pilot. My brother Dave and I were renovating this lake house at that time, and I brought it to work with me, and we got a hose repair kit and we fixed it. So what's significant about it is that this is an awesome hose. I mean, it's heavy duty, it's 100 feet long. I just looked up the value of it. It's worth about $60, and it was just sitting there in the trash. The reason for that is because there was a split in the hose about a foot from the end of it. Evidently my neighbor didn't know how to repair the hose, so they just threw it in the trash. In the end, we were able to fix this hose in just a couple of minutes with a $4 part. And now we've got this amazing hose to use at the lake house. If you're new to our channel, consider subscribing, because we want to show you how to do a job yourself so you can save a ton of money. Right, Clive? All right, now we're out at our farm, and this is where we have quite a bit of hoses. So our well is way over there. We got a spigot there. We have to run hoses all the way out here to our hoop house. And we're growing about 130 tomatoes in this hoop house. And we have about 1,000 feet of hoses so far with different irrigation lines. We're doing soaker hoses. Soaker hoses are buried underneath this landscape fabric, so you can see them all there. Sometimes they do break and need to be repaired, but that job is easy enough. All right, so these are the tools that you're going to need to do a hose repair. It's a Phillips screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, something to cut the hose with, and then you're going to need a hose repair kit of some sort. So these are made by Yardsmith, and it's called a Clamp Hose Mender, and it looks like that. This is also made by Yardsmith. It's a Clamp Hose Mender. It's just a different style. We'll repair 2 hoses, one using each mender, and then you can see which one you like. I think these were like between $3 and $4 each. You can get them at almost any hardware store. We're Amazon affiliates, and we'll put a link in the description below so that you can order these products right off of Amazon. All right, let's say that your hose has a cut in it for whatever reason. This hose is quite damaged, but not to fear. The first thing to do is cut out the section that's been cut. So like if this was a long hose, you could just cut out 1 inch to either side of where the break is. And it's good to get a nice even cut like that. Okay, so then you would take this repair kit and pull it apart. Take this piece and loosen the 2 screws on it, and that'll allow it to pull apart a bit. Feed that over the hose. Then take this piece and stick it down in there into the hose opening. If you were having trouble getting it in there, you could use soapy water, but that went in there pretty nicely. This other part is going to go on the other side. So we'll do the same thing. We're just going to loosen these 2 retaining screws, and we're going to put this over the other end of the hose. And now we'll slip this hose on the brass piece, and you can see how it's going to connect nicely right there. Then all we got to do is tighten them up. So we'll move the gray clamp up near where the brass connector is, and we'll just tighten that up, get it nice and tight so that we'll have a good connection. And as you tighten one, generally the other one you'll be able to tighten a little further. And then we'll do the same thing now with the other one. Slide that down toward the brass connector, tighten it up, and voila, this is a hose that will now work perfectly. and it's been repaired. Okay, now we're going to make a connection using this other style, and it's all quite similar. It just depends on maybe what's at your store, what's available. I just wanted to show you how you could use whatever they have. First repair I did was on a soaker hose. Now we'll do one on a garden hose. And let's just say that this garden hose became punctured because somebody just took a knife and stabbed it. All right, let's say you were going to use your hose and you just found it in this condition. So rather than throw it out and get a new one, we're just going to get a hose repair kit, something like this hose mender. We're going to do the same thing we did before. So we're going to cut out the damaged section. Okay, so this hose is damaged up to here, so we're just going to cut it like a ½ inch above where it's damaged. That's a pretty straight cut. Okay, so in this case we're going to take this part and we'll put it over the hose. And we'll take this, we'll insert it into the hose. All right, so I'm just making some soapy water. I'm going to stick the end of the hose in there. This is just going to lubricate it a bit, make it easier for us to slide this on. Alright, that was so tight I had to make a little relief slit right there, but it'll be fine because there's plenty of room to clamp this on. Alright, so once that's on, you put the ring on and start turning. As you turn the screw, it decreases the size of the ring. And just keep turning that until you've got it clamped on nicely. All right, that one's nice and tight. Now we've got to do the same thing on the other end. Get my soapy water on there. And then it did work better to just make a little relief cut in here. Make sure to put that on first because it's not going to fit over that. Just twist that on there until this is pretty flush with the brass connector. And we just tighten this up and we'll have a repair. All right, just turn that until it's good and tight. And you can, pull on it, test your connections, make sure it's all secure. All right, we'll go turn the water on and see how we did. Okay, I turned the water on. Let's see how we're doing. All right, as you can see, water's coming out where it's supposed to, and it's not coming out where we repaired it. So that is completely leak-free there. That's solid, and the water's coming out there. The super cool thing about doing this repair is that you can lengthen any hose to the exact length that you want it to be by doing this same repair. So like in my hoop house, I needed 10 extra feet on each run. And so by just cutting and splicing other hose, I can make it, instead of 50 feet, I can make it 60 feet long. And that works perfect for me. When you go to the hardware store, if they have both of these options available, this is the first one we used, and I'll tell you, this one is way easier than this one. So it's just called the Yardsmith Heavy Duty Clamp Hose Mender, and I would definitely recommend getting this one, but you can do this one also if that's all they have. Hey, if you got any value out of the video, if you could hit the thumbs up, that helps out our channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because we have a ton of home improvement videos on the way. Thanks much for viewing, and we'll see you in this video.